Welcome to the Hearthchemist, everything Hearthstone and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm back with an updated deck profile of heroes. I've been playing a little bit with the numbers and kind of going for a going second type of strat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So there's going to be triple elemental hero Stratos. I have seen some deck profiles that honestly have it at 2 or maybe even 1. I mean, there's so many cards that search heroes that it makes sense to cut some of it, but I decided to keep Elemental Hero Stratus because it does have that nifty option to destroy spells or traps, where it might come into play again since this is a going second deck. So yeah, I think 3 is still good for me. Next, going to be triple Vision Hero Ferris. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a free special summon for the most cases. And also, you're able to essentially special summon a Vision Hero increase, right? So overall, I think having it at 3 is a no-brainer here. Going to another 3 of is going to be Effect Wheeler. So, yeah, I mean, my deck is going second. I want to negate effects. I really want my opponent to be limited on what they can do on their turn. So when it's my turn, I can either one hit kill them or get rid of their board. So yeah, triple of those. So those are all the 3 ofs. So going next to the 2 ofs, I'm going to have double Destiny Hero Malicious. If it was at 3, definitely would be a must have at 3. 2 is still pretty decent, so yeah, 2 it is. Going next is going to be double Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Being able to search a Mask Change card or also an Elemental Hero, or sorry, a hero in general is pretty good. So definitely 2 is more than enough. The same goes for Vision Hero Vion. Being able to send a hero to the graveyard is pretty good. And also, being able to search polymerization is pretty good. So yeah, 2 is more than enough, in my opinion. Now, double Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Having this at 2 definitely makes sense going second. If your opponent plays a troublesome card that you couldn't effect Wheeler or negate its effect, well, you can tribute it. There are very few cards that are immune to being tribute, so yeah, 2 of those. Then going to the 1 ofs, 1 Vision Hero Increase. I had it at 2, but honestly, even that 1, it's so annoying when you draw the card. It's pretty bad. So if you drew 2 of these during your turns, it's basically a game over, right? Because you this card is basically worthless if drawn. So I'm playing it at 1 for now. I tried to do the opposite, to do it at 3, right? Because if you draw 2, then you still have 1 in deck and you can still activate the effect. But I was thinking, like, honestly, is it really worth it, right? Is it really worth it handling basically 3 Garnets? And increasing the chance that you're going to draw those Garnets. And yes, you might still activate the effect, but at that point, you already drew 2 cards that are worthless, right? So I'd rather pull it at 1. And I'm testing it out. Like if you really, I still see this card for some reason often in my opening hands, and it's like, well, I feel super bad, right? Because I can't activate Ferris' effect anymore, so I just included this card for no reason. But again, when you do go off, then at that point it's really, really good. So yeah, have it at 1. Another 1 of is Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. Very, very good card. Whenever there's a card that allows you to draw 2 cards under any sort of circumstance, for the most part, is a good card. I think that this is no exception, and it's also water attribute, so it serves me a lot to go into my extra deck, which you'll see in a bit. Another 1 of is going to be a Solid Soldier, because it's an Earth type, or an Earth attribute rather, and again, lets me go for plays for the extra deck. So before, I felt like super bad if I was trying to activate its effect and it got Infinite Impermanence or it got Effect Wheelered. Well, now I'm basically stuck, right? I can't do anything else. But I think I've the extra deck kind of compensates a little bit, so my plays can still go through. So we'll see if that's the case or not. All right, so now basically the Destiny Hero engine other than Malicious is going to be Dynatag, so one of those. One Plasma. Plasma again really can still end some games. So yeah, I think that that's pretty good at one. Again, Celestial, drawing cards under most circumstances is good, and this is good enough to see play. There are going to be some times where you're going to be without a card, without cards in hand. Elemental Hero Honest Neos, and gaining 2,500 again. I'm trying to play an OTK type of version, so yeah, I think one is good. So those were the monsters. Now going to the spells, right? So triple mask change. Again, if I really want to go into plays, I think that this is going to be it. If my opponent, say they chain to the activation of Solid or Liquid Soldier a card, then I can activate mask change, and then they lose a target, so they can't activate it can't be negated, right? Because the target is gone. So triple of those, that's kind of the purpose now. And obviously getting the dark one, Dark Law, there we go. Getting Dark Law is going to be pretty important as well, because it basically can shut down some decks. So yeah, I think it's now just a multi-purpose card. Another three of is going to be Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny is really good. So, and it's going to become even better on the next set, right? Because a new Destiny hero is coming, which is pretty good, a really recurring annoyance. So I'm just waiting for that to come out. I think it should be out. I think it's at the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, I think this hero decks are going to get better overall with the upcoming cards. All right, another three of is going to be Super Polymerization. So three of those. Again, I have some interruptions as well in my extra deck. So it's basically, if you can't go for your one turn kill, you go for as many interruptions as you can, so you can continue playing. So it's not the end of the world if you can't go for your one turn kill. You can still keep on playing. So you want your opponent not to do things, right? So now for the two emergency call. I definitely, again, you have so many ways to search heroes. I'm trying it at 2 right now because I wanted to add a lot of back row hate. So unfortunately, I did have to cut one of those. I might add it back, but I just want to test it this way first, just to see how it works. So 2 emergency calls. Speaking of back row hate, is going to be 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Being able to banish the card is also going to be good because there's a lot of traps or spells that are able to activate in the graveyard or get some sort of a benefit. So you're going to say no to that. So 2 of those. Going for the one of is going to be 1 Polymerization. I mean, you basically have to have this card. So yeah, 1 of is enough. 1 Miracle Fusion. You have a bunch of cards in grave, and as you'll see in the extra deck, I do have some options to go into. 1 A Hero Lives. Again, free special summon. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Going second, so you want to see those spells and traps get destroyed. And 1 Reinforcement of the Army. So that is the main deck. Now going to the extra deck. So how we're able to go to our one turn kill is going to be Vision Hero Trinity. So Trinity is pretty good at doing that. I mean, it can attack all of your opponent's monsters once. It can't attack directly, so that's a good thing to know. And it also doubles its original attack, right, when it's fusion summoned. So 5,000 card that can attack all your opponent's monsters. I think that that's pretty good, especially like with the kaiju that I have. I can guarantee an attack where your opponent's going to take damage, right? So going then to the materials for the mask change. So 2 Dark Laws. Again, a lot of decks are very vulnerable to their cards being banished. So if they can't return it, they can't do anything else. So it's good. One Mask Hero Diane. So again, that's how I can. My opponent chains to the effect of a Solid Soldier, Effect Wheeler, Infinite Impermanence, any other card that negates and targets. That isn't a counter trap. Then you can just chain Mask Change, and the effect will go through, right? Because the target disappears, so you can still resolve. So yeah, and its effect overall is not bad. I mean, it's kind of related to battle, so there might be some situation where it's not that good. Another card here is going to be a Masked Hero Acid, right? We do have the Liquid Soldier, so going for Acid, and again, we hate their spells and traps, so this is going to make it happen. One Hero Blast, same thing. Again, if your opponent negates a search, wants to negate a search, chaining an infinite impermanence or chaining an effect wheeler, then it's going to go through. Cards like Ash Blossom, those don't target, so even if you chain that, and it's still going to be able to negate the effect, right? Because it's not, it doesn't need to target to resolve. But, like, again, Infinite Impermanence is pretty common, and it's going to become a little bit more common with the reprint in the structure deck. And it also, again, is Spell and Trap Hate, right? So those are the targets for Mask Change. Now the targets for Super Poly, right? So since this deck really doesn't like cards that are not hero cards, I kind of had to look for the next best thing, right? So I have Elemental Hero Escoridao, which again, it's an elemental hero and a dark monster. So that's basically the Starving Venom, right? So there's that. There's also one for water, which is Absolute Zero, and its effect is pretty good as well. We have one, The Shining. Again, light monsters are pretty common, so you're able to go into that pretty frequently. And finally, one Elemental Hero Gaia. Again, for this, you might already have another elemental hero on the field, and your opponent infinite impermanence, then you can maybe go for a super poly, and the effect will still go through, right? Because the target is gone. And also, you might encounter some dinosaurs that your opponent might have. A lot of the dinosaurs are going to be Earth attribute. So, yeah, I mean, going into that might be a possibility. And finally, the targets for the Fusion Destiny, which is going to be one Dystopia, one Dangerous. So again, you just basically want to trigger Malicious, so those are the ways to do it. And one Elemental Hero Sunrise, which is able to search one of your Miracle Fusions. And it has, again, bonus effects for attributes, right? So there's one of those. And finally, for the links, it's going to be Wonder Driver, again, is able to search you Mass Change, Polymerization, etc. And one Extra Hero Cross Crusader, which again is going to be basically a free special summon. So yeah, those are the cards. If you like the profile, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time.